Concrete filled plastic tubes presented by hakeem and Mohammed Al-Adawi. This is the outline. First of all, I'll talk about the concept of the effect of confinement on concrete. Okay. In a normal situation, when you have a RC column, okay, that's subject to concentric axial loading, the state of stresses is that there's a normal force on the faces that are perpendicular to the axis and is accompanied by a normal strain, but no normal forces on the transverse faces. However, on the transverse faces, there exists normal strain. Under the state of compression, this leads to transverse expansion. Okay. The idea of having a tube or something to confine the concrete core is to prevent this or to delay this expansion. The state of stress in a situation where concrete is confined in a tube is that at first, in both the state of load is that it's subject to an axial compressive force. Okay? Both the concrete core and the surrounding tube carry the longitudinal stress. But the concrete core carries most of it. So at the beginning, the Poisson's ratio for the concrete core is less than the confinement, whatever material. I'm talking now in general. The confinement could be steel. In our case, it's PVC. Okay. When the load increases, the Poisson's ratio for the concrete exceeds the Poisson's ratio for the steel tube. So the steel tube acts as a confinement. The effect of the confinement is that it could improve the ductility. It delays the cracking of the concrete core, and this subjects the concrete to less tension. And as you know, concrete is a brittle material, and since it's a brittle material, its strength in tension is approximately 10 times less than in compression. So the effect of the confinement could that it increases the overall strength of the column. Okay. Then similar trials in literature. In the literature, I found similar trials on mainly short concrete filled tubes. The tubes were made of steel. And then some of the conclusions that were made is that the confinement prevented the local buckling in the concrete. And some other conclusions is that if adding up the components of the resistance of the confinement and the concrete core, if you add these up, the overall strength of the column exceeded the theoretical addition of the components.
Then the advantages of using plastic concrete filled tubes is that it can act as longitudinal reinforcement. It can act, it's more cheap than steel tubes, and there is no need for formworks, as the tubes itself can act as formwork as it holds the concrete inside. Also, the application of CRT concrete filled tubes. In recent years, concrete filled tubes has been more widely accepted and used in tall buildings and architects, especially in the Far East region, in countries like China and Japan. Our scope, we want to study the compression behavior of the concrete inside the PVC tubes, as to get a mathematical formula to express the strength of the tubes of columns with different diameters, short, medium, and long, with changing some variables like the tube thickness, the tube diameter, the tube length, and complete compressive strength.
You can go on without it, I think.
There's a diagrams that I need to.
Sometimes some of the classrooms are timed, I think. I don't know. جرب زرار الموجود على تحت كده. السلطان الزرار الأصفر ده كده، أيوه مانيوال كده. should work now. You should only be ready لو حصل حاجة زي كده تكمل من الوقت.
Unless
you just turn the settings so that we can see.
يعني بتصور بس في نور طالع منها ولا؟ بص كده فين؟
Just
thank you, then go on.
Oh, wait, no way. Start.
Our test program is as follows. We're going to conduct static load tests, axial concentric compression, to obtain the FCC, which is the confined compressive strength of the PVC tube with the concrete core. Okay? The variables of these are the to formulate different specimen. These are the variables we're planning to change. The diameter, we're taking two diameters into consideration. Diameters of 4 inches and 8 inches. The wall thicknesses, as expressed in the diagram, the wall thickness of the PVC tube. This is a cross section. We're considering 3 millimeters, 4 millimeters, and 5 millimeters. Okay, and we're considering 3 different lengths to satisfy the different types of columns: short, medium, long. We're considering 3 different concrete compressive strengths. And then after we conduct the static loading test, we're considering conducting variable loading tests to test the fatigue of the specimen. Okay, and then also included in the test program is we need to conduct tensile strength on the PVC tubes, because the PVC tubes are subject to tension as a result of the reaction of the confinement from the concrete core. When the concrete core is confined, it expresses a reaction on the PVC tubes, which causes tensile hoop stress, which is all around the direction is all around the PVC tube. And for the concrete, we aim for specific through the mixed design. We aim for specific concrete strengths, as we still need to test the actual strength of the concrete batches. So we're going to create 3 cylinders to test the actual strength of the concrete samples. Okay, and then for the specimen preparation, okay, first of all we need to conduct tests on the concrete components, the aggregates and the cement, such as the specific gravity, the maximum nominal aggregate size, the rates of absorptions, and so on. This information is needed for the mixed design, and when we come to do the mixed design, we're going to follow the ACI, American Concrete Institute standards.
Yeah, and we'll use the PVC pipes as molds for concrete cylinders. We'll use it twice. Once when we apply the compression on the concrete being surrounded with the tubes, and another time we'll use it to have the same volume of concrete, but without having the tube around. We'll have the tube cut vertically from both sides, 2 sides, so that you can remove it easily.
This is for the plain and the specimen that won't be confined by the PVC tubes.
We also aim for capping of the specimen with cement mortar, so that we ensure that the surface is flat and smooth, so that the vertical load will be centered.
Okay, the test setup, we're going to be able to use the universal testing machine in the compression tests and in the tension tests.
When applying tests on aggregates and cement, we will adhere to the ASTM standards, which is the American Society for Testing and Materials. We will also use the American Society, the American Concrete Institute to help us to design our concrete maps. Also, the American Society for Testing and Materials for compressive test on PVC concrete filled tubes.
After, when we come up with the results, this is the equation we expect to express the strength of the confined concrete tubes. And this was this experiment was conducted before, or at least from what we found in the literature, on steel tubes. Okay? And this formula, based on the theory that was explained at the beginning, this formula was devised. Okay? And what we need to do is we need to determine the alpha, which is a reduction factor for the confinement, for the PVC confinement, and beta, which is a magnification factor for the strength of the concrete acting on its own. And in order to find them, we need to conduct a regression analysis.
Our data after searching the market, we found that the available PVC pipes in the market, we have available diameters which are 2 inches, 2.5 inches, and 4 inches. We have also available wall thickness which is 3 millimeter and 4 millimeter. And the distributor is the Ma'dani company, located in Hakeem Shalab Street, in Fatgala, in Cairo.
The time schedule is as follows. Okay? First of all, I explain the sections of the time schedule. Literature review is just reading about what happened in the past, the similar experiments and so on. Data collection, acquiring material, acquiring the PVC pipes, the concrete components, the aggregates, the cement, and so on. And then the next phase would be the test and specimen design. What is meant by this section is to test the concrete components, and in order to be able to formulate the next design. Then after this comes the phase of the specimen preparation, and we intend to test the specimens after 28 days of acquired strength. Okay? And then after that comes the specimen testing phase itself, and the results and analysis. And the results and analysis includes the mathematical modeling and the regression analysis. This is the proposed time schedule.
Our potential challenges are the consistency in experimental work, is how to apply the tests on many specimens or different, and we have like 54 types of columns, short, medium, and long, with different diameters, different thicknesses. We also are aiming to ensure flat surfaces for concrete cylinders, as I said before, to be flat from upward. Also, the availability of different PVC wall thicknesses within a specific diameter. And last thing is adhering to proposed time schedule to be on time to finish the testing.
These are the references. Thank you.
Well, I'll start, but I have to say at the beginning that you contacted me, and I failed find the time the past few days to meet with you personally, but and that's why some of what I'm going to say now perhaps we could have said earlier. At the beginning, I admire your courage that both of you would like to work together on a topic that you like, and I really hold that low certain kind of value in me, and I wish you well. What I'm going to say is something we discussed also with Dr. Sharif and with the colleagues here. We're all one team, and maybe they will give you other advice as well. Think of changing the title, because the title really does not tell much. It could be a novel. Correct? Title: Concrete Filled PVC Pipes. Is it the properties? Is it the formula? And maybe you want to look for another title or a better title. I strongly advise you not to do aggregate testing and cement testing, because you're going to wait forever. Just jump into the concrete pouring right away. I mean, we know what kind of concrete we're producing. We've been doing that for years. Not to delay yourself. And I would strongly recommend also not to exhaust yourself too much with those many companies. sometimes you said plastic, sometimes you said PVC, but get the kind of PVC you're looking for in agreement with your advisors. I mean, from one source, because I don't think time will be on your side